What advice are you giving folks who are entry level or transitioning to make them more eligible for cybersecurity jobs?
I think one of the small little tidbits we teach at a couple of the universities I work with is this thing called imposter syndrome, right? Where you never believe what you did was worth it and you always are doubting yourself, right? And I have it. I think everybody has it to a certain extent, right? I think the one thing you'll see a lot of people, especially people coming out of the military or people switching from jobs, like I've had chefs. I've had Amazon delivery drivers. I've had FedEx delivery drivers. I've had caterers, lawyers, all kinds of people trying to change their roles into cyber come through my classes. I probably taught a couple thousand students, over the years. And it's the exact same thing that I see with every one of them. Hey, I'm an ACE certified mechanic, but now I want to be cyber. Who's going to hire me when I've spent the last 15 years working on cars, right? And the one thing I tell everybody out there is that one, don't get imposter syndrome and don't feel like you're not good enough because, well, guess what? You know what employers really want is they want a person who comes to work. They want a person who's dedicated. People need to stop worrying about what they've done before, what they're going to do in the future. Don't have imposter syndrome and learn to be a little bit more self-promoting. In the military, we're always told never to take glory, right, for yourself, right? It's the team, it's the group. I didn't do it alone, all of this. In the civilian world, you've got to take credit for what you do.
Imposter syndrome is a real thing. I mean, we're all kind of just faking it, I think.
We feel like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've never heard anybody say this, but are we all just pretending with positivity? Is that is that what we're
Well,
doing?
so look at it this way, right? If you pretend to be a thing, or you're thinking that you're pretending to be a thing, let's say I pretend I'm going to be a very happy person all day. Am I happy? In all extents and purposes, with all outside evidence, with people looking at me, the way I act, the way I am I a happy person? Yeah, I'm actually a happy person. What the problem is that in my brain, I'm telling myself, the little voice back there is telling myself, you're not really happy. You're just pretending you're happy. But I'm doing everything a happy person would do. That's imposter syndrome. And it's okay to have a little bit of check on your ego. What you don't want is get to a point where that overrides your ego, causes self doubt, anxiety, depression, and you get into that spiral where I'm not good enough. What the problem a lot of people have is, Blake, is that they think it's just them. Every single person on the planet out there, unless you have no ability to second guess your own actions, like you have no conscience, you have imposter syndrome. Everybody does, right? Because we have a little person in the back of our head trying to bring us down to reality. But that's what makes us good people. All the people that you look at and go, those are horrible, vacuous people, do not have that voice in their head telling them, I don't think you're good enough, right? You know what I mean? So if you have a voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, you're just normal. And it's okay to have that voice in the back of your head, right? Don't let it run your life though, because you'll never take chances.